Hi guys, Chef Kevin Belton here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, I get teased a lot because I don't cook with a whole lot of raisins. Raisins sometimes get a bad rap. Grandmother always made raisin bread pudding. So I'm taking a challenge. Today, I'm gonna make something that you maybe have never heard of. I'm gonna make a raisin pie, plus I'm gonna make a raisin bread pudding. That's right. I'm gonna use raisins. So to start with our pie, I wanna get started on that because our filling has to cool. So what I have a cup of brown sugar. I have a cup and a third of water. Now I'm just gonna get that in, take our spoon, start to get this dissolved, okay? Now, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And that's right, this cornstarch is going to help thicken our filling for our pie. A lot of times in grocery stores, you see where you can buy this type of pie filling and that type of pie filling. Well, I don't think you've ever seen a raisin pie filling. I think this was someone's grandmother's recipe that it's just not done much anymore, raisin pie. But I figure, hey, I have to take it and put my twist to it. Now, I want this to come up to a boil because remember, that cornstarch, that sugar, we want the sugar to dissolve. We want that cornstarch to smooth itself out and it's gonna start to thicken. So to help flavor this, I have some lemon juice, I have fresh squeezed orange juice, and I have some orange zest in the bottom down there. And of course, we have our raisins. Now, I'm just using regular raisins for our pie, okay? Hey, if you like craisins, the cranberries that are dried, you could use that, okay? I've seen the jumbo raisins that come in different colors and different types. That could be used, okay? So you see, this is starting to get hot now. All right, let's go ahead and get in our lemon juice. Let's go ahead and get in our orange juice with our zest. See the zest down in there? Okay, that zest is a really nice pop of flavor. And we also want to go ahead and get our raisins in at this point, okay? Now, a couple of things are going to happen. By putting the raisins in now, our raisins are going to start to absorb the orange juice, the lemon juice. That'll give them flavor. We need this to come to a boil. So once this comes to a boil, you'll notice that it'll be really thick. It'll start to kind of like bloop, 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 very, very thick. And then we have to let it cool. Now, our pie crust, I already have it in the pie pan, okay? Once our filling cools, then we could put it in our pie to fill our pie. Then we're gonna put a crust on the top of this. So this is gonna be a pie that has a crust on the bottom and the top. So we're gonna get this to a boil so it gets nice and thick. We'll let it cool off and we'll get our pie filled. And while we're waiting on that, next time you see me, we'll start to work on that bread pudding. We'll see you in a little bit. Hi guys, our pie filling is cooling. Now let's get to work on our bread pudding. Look at my raisins right here. Now for the bread pudding, I'm using some golden raisins. But you notice that liquid they're in? What that is? That's rum. What I did, I put them in a bowl. I put them in the microwave for a couple of minutes for this to warm up. And then I let them sit there and soak. That way they absorb that rum. Now, here, my bread is really dry. I always like to make bread pudding with dry bread. Okay? And I always kind of look for that texture of oatmeal. I don't want to have any dry bread. I want everything nice and moist and absorbed. Now, my eggs, notice my eggs, they look a little brown because that's the vanilla I mix in with my eggs. And I don't beat my eggs ahead of time because they're going to get beaten when we put them in here at this point. So that's why I don't beat my eggs ahead, all right? But you see with the bread dry, how it's starting to absorb. That's what we're looking for. Now, of course, some sugar. Now, notice with my sugar, That little bit of brown there, that's cinnamon. So instead of putting the powder directly in here, I mix that cinnamon into the sugar. That way we don't get little pockets of cinnamon that'll cake up on us. Okay? Ah, yes. Now, here, I showed you I had my raisins soaking. Okay? All right? We don't have to put all of that liquid in. What we could do, we could take a spoon and drain some of this rum off of it. All right? That way our raisins, when they go in, they'll give a little bit of a rum flavor right from those raisins. And I can always save this rum and use in a sauce if I choose. Okay? So we've got our raisins in, and the last thing we're gonna get in is some butter. Yes. You know, I tell you what, bread pudding just doesn't taste the same without the butter. So we'll get this mixed in. Now, my pan I've sprayed. I have the oven preheating. It's at 350 degrees. All right. My pan, I've sprayed it. So now we can get our bread pudding into the pan. See that? No dry bread. Everything is nice and moist and absorbed. And what we're going to do, you notice I didn't use all the milk. I have a little bit of milk left, okay? Now, the other thing I want to do with this is I have a little brown sugar. We could put a sauce on this once it bakes, but you know what? I'm going to do a little brown sugar for a nice crunchy top. This brown sugar, as it bakes, will caramelize. It'll give the top a nice little crunch. So this will go in the oven. This will probably bake anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. I want to get it nice and crunchy on the top, okay? And because those eggs, it'll souffle a little bit. And once it souffles, that's fine. We give it a little shake. It should be just a little bit of a wiggle. So we'll get this in the oven going. And when we come back, we'll go ahead and put our pie together so we can get it in the oven as well. So we'll see in a little bit. Welcome back. Our pie filling is cooled, okay? Now, here's something that you could do if you want. We could put some nuts in here. You could do pecans, you could do some walnuts, you can do almonds, any type nut that you want. So here, we're gonna put a top layer on. So I didn't fold it all the way over because I want you to see it. So now, with the pie crust on top, we can take it and just kind of pinch the crust together. You know, this is something that, you know, I watched mom and grandmother do this, and they were so quick at it, all right? Wow, I tell you what, that looks pretty good. Now, I took the scissors and trimmed a couple of spots that's at a pie, okay? Now, do you guys ever remember seeing a pie that had a hole in the middle of it? They would use what's called a pie bird. That would vent the pie so the steam could escape. So I don't have one, so I'm gonna just take our knife and make 4 little cuts. And this will help this vent. Now, I have a little whipped egg white with a splash of cream in it that I'm gonna just brush on. All right, just get that brushed on. Want to try to get it around the sides as well. This is something you just have to kind of take your time getting it done. Make sure you get up the sides. All right. Now I have a little bit of sugar here. See, that's the way to get in those grooves. Just take your brush and stroke up. Have a little sugar, and we're just gonna lightly sprinkle a little sugar right over the top. This egg will help this stick, and it'll give it a nice little crust and a nice little shine. Now, you don't want to have too much sugar. You don't want it too thick. So that's why I'm gonna put this real thin. I have the oven preheating 400 degrees. This is gonna bake in the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check it at 30 because this is gonna be so good. I tell you what, gang, come take a look at this pie. This pie looks so good. And you see, no matter how much you try to crimp it, right along here, you can see where it kind of bubbled out some. That's why it's important to try to go ahead and pinch that together. But you can see the little slits here, you know, nothing came through the top where you would normally have that little bird. That's where that round hole would come from in the pies that you see sometimes grandmother made. All right, and look at our bread pudding. Now, I didn't make a sauce for the bread pudding, but this is just basically a little powdered sugar with just a couple tablespoons of milk and a light squeeze of lemon juice just to make a glaze to go over the top of it. So you can make a sauce, you can make just a glaze like this to go over the top of it. That raisin pie, Now remember, we didn't put nuts in it, but you know what? When you serve it, you can sprinkle some pecans on the top. But how about this? Who says that I can't cook with raisins? And they get such a bad rap. So I hope you try this. Raisin pie, raisin soaked bread pudding. Golden raisin soaked rum bread pudding. That's right. All right. Thank you for cooking with me today. Keep washing those hands, masking up, stay safe. For WWO TV, I'm Chef Kevin Belton, and we'll see you soon.